wedding gifts.
Oh, hi, Wayne. I was just calling to inquire about the rates for your wedding portraits. Can you give me a price range?
Each year in the United States, there are over 2 million weddings. And according to Brides Magazine, the average cost is between $15,000 and $20,000. For many families, a wedding is a huge investment of time and money.
Okay, Tim, there's the marriage license you haven't got, that you don't have yet.
Chad and Adele Smith remember their own wedding day.
That's a good picture, Adele.
This would have been nice.
They are hoping and planning for just such a special day for their daughter Rochelle and her fiancé Tim.
Nothing in them.
Ginger ale, baby.
There's a lot of things that you don't really get a chance to do over again. So you have to make sure that when you plan these things, it's planned right the first time. So we take time and try to do it right. Yeah, Adele threw her bouquet into the band.
Yeah, the band got it. Your big investments in life are your home, your cars, and a wedding. I mean, I would think that a wedding rates right up among those two things. What else do you do that costs so many thousands of dollars? And to not insure it, you wouldn't think of not insuring your car or your home. So why not the wedding?
At Fireman's Fund, Grant Steer is beginning to determine what elements to insure. In the policy, they can insure wedding cancellation, photographs, wedding attire, wedding gifts, and personal liability.
All these different pieces that are associated with a wedding, we added up as best we could what the costs of the various insurable losses were, and the other thing we'd need to know is how often did these losses occur. Get your error to be less than 165.
Grant consults with actuary Bob Butzik to try to predict the frequency of wedding cancellation. Just one element of a wedding that needs to be considered.
You were down to 21 here before. I don't know what you're trying to maximize now. For cancellation insurance, we knew that the longer an engagement lasted or the longer a policy was in place before the actual wedding, there were more chances, more opportunities for things to go wrong.
So couples with long engagements are riskier for the insurance company than couples with short engagements.
The alpha is the what? We didn't think we could charge a different premium over a short engagement versus a long engagement, or a short policy term before wedding versus a long policy term. So to simplify the rating, we decided to average over those different frequencies or numbers of claims per policy that might occur. We had some idea of what these coverages were, but we checked them out as best we could with available reference material or available experts in the field to help us firm up our estimate of what these costs might be. And if they could tell us what they thought the number of these types of claims might be, or how often they would happen, that would give us the fundamental components into what this wedding insurance policy ought to cost. Our assumptions are that we'll have, in general, about 3 claims per 100. So about 3% of the time we're going to have a claim.
Because of this low risk, the insurance company is able to provide Tim and Rochelle thousands of dollars worth of coverage for a policy premium that costs a little more than $100.
Okay, let's try to get a photo.
The insurance company is counting on things going right, but there's still a 3% chance that something might go wrong.
A cousin of mine at a wedding a year ago, and there was a problem with her photographer, and they had a problem with getting their pictures done, and it was a really sad thing because a lot of their pictures didn't turn out, and she missed a part of that.
Beautiful. Are we gonna do like an all-girl thing, an all-guy thing?
Yeah. And so we thought, well, we don't want anything like that to happen, where we want to have everything perfect. So this is a little bit of a safety net.
How about when looking at each other?
I really don't think that there's anything you can do to give you total peace of mind when you're planning for your only child's wedding. But just knowing that if something happened to the bridal gown or something happened at the reception. It gives you some feeling of like, well, maybe we can do this if something terrible happens. But
again, you hope you never have to use this insurance. It's just like everything else. Insurance is fine, but you don't ever want to use it.
I'm very happy to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Timothy Simon.
The Smiths' wedding comes off beautifully as planned. And they didn't have to use the insurance safety net.
There is no absolute truth. There is no roulette wheel to tell us how often a 1 or a 2 or a 3 is going to come up. So we're always having to make estimates from the information we have, from the data we've been able to gather, from our common sense or our view of the world. We're trying to make predictions of the future.
No one knows what the future holds. But by using statistics and probability, we can begin to discover useful patterns.
In a way, probability helps you to put some kind of a pattern on randomness. You can't tell what's going to happen from step to step, but you can predict what's going to happen over the long haul.
By uncovering patterns, we can better evaluate new life-saving drugs.
Small numbers, it's a pretty big difference.
We can gauge the opinions of the masses and get a handle on the uncertainty that touches all of our lives.
Being able to handle uncertainty, which basically is what probability is, or what statistics is about. That's always been just very fascinating to me, to be able to foretell the future.
Predicting the future helps us to make decisions about the present. And making decisions, evaluating information, is at the heart of statistics.
Information and decisions gets at what we try to do. People think naturally of the numbers, and less of what I think the interesting part is using the numbers to make decisions about everything under the sun.